Hello, my name is Alicia Travis. The movie I chose to do my video about was End of Watch, which was made in 2012. The two main actors are Jason Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. And Jake Gyllenhaal played Officer Taylor, and Michael Pena played Officer Zavala. There was a couple reasons I chose to do this movie. One is because it seemed a little bit more realistic with the whole riding in the car with the videotaping it as they go from house to house, or when they pull somebody over. It was more real. So in the beginning I thought that movie was a more realistic movie until I watched it after taking this class. So there was a reason that was the reason I chose this, and now that I chose this movie, I'm kind of glad I did, because it proves to be the reason that what you proved your point of what you were saying about how the movies ain't what they're made to be. When they're police movies, the laws and the constitutional laws are not real. So the first one that I found that was not constitutional and kind of like fake, when I thought it was kind of real at the beginning, was around 12 minutes into the movie. The officers of Zavala agreed to fight a guy that he went to his house and had actually went after Officer Zavala, and then he agreed to fight him in his house in order to get him arrested. And it was a mutual fight, but more than not, you don't fight officers. Usually it becomes an assault on an officer if you put your hands on them. So that was kind of the unreal and not very constitutional, because both of them should have had assault charges on them. That was the first one. 23 minutes into the movie, they had both officers, Officer Taylor and Officer Zavala, had went into a house where there was called for missing children. When they went into the house for the missing children, actually the woman at the door invited them in, and then the guy that was laying on the couch said, who was obviously high, had said that the kids were at their grandmother's, that she was just lying and she couldn't find her kids anywhere. So they immediately had the right to search the house. Even though the guy was crying, "Oh, you don't have a warrant, you can't search this house, you need to get out of my house, you don't have a search warrant." Once the lady invited them in the house, it gave them probable cause, and it gave them a right to search in the house to find the children. Later, finding them taped to car seats and taped their mouths shut in a closet where the guy, the drug addict, had put them in the closet. So that was the good. They had that right. He actually could go into the house after the woman had invited them in, and especially for domestic violence. The third one that I found that was very, very kind of iffy is 50 minutes into the movie. They went into a house without a search warrant, and actually was going to go into the house without a search warrant before, which is manipulated evidence. They had went into the house without a search warrant, without probable cause, and just opened the door. And they were actually searching through their garbage ahead of time, so when they started doing that, it became manipulated evidence. Even though they found about probably 50 people in a caged room, in the back room, they had manipulated the evidence so it would not hold up in court. So they probably could have got away with it if they weren't manipulating the evidence in the beginning. So those people probably will get away with that. And when I first watched this movie, I really thought it was real. And after watching it, there is a lot of cop movies that I found after taking this class that are so, like, they don't read them the right, like they all read their rights. I didn't find any of that in this movie where they had to arrest somebody. The only thing I found was like the searching of the house or the searching of the property without having probable cause or a search warrant. was when the 50 minutes into the movie. So, again, it was a good movie, but obviously not real. Thanks, and have a great night.